Hi everybody, this is Cheryl and welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. This week I'm going to talk about paper plates or styrofoam plates and drinking straws. Okay? Paper plates has a lot of uses. I'm sure you all have uses for them as well, but one thing you can do with paper plate, now it works better with paper plate than a styrofoam plate, is cut a paper plate in half and use it for a dustpan. Another thing is you can put paper plates or paper towels or styrofoam plates in between your fine china or your pans when you're storing them to keep them from scratching together and banging together and that kind of thing. A couple of craft ideas. One for the kids is have them decorate. Now you can use paper or styrofoam for this, but have them decorate the backs of the paper plates. Put them together like this, okay? And you can staple it or you can lace it with ribbon or, whatever you want, and leaving an opening and drop beans or rice or anything like that, and they have a shaker so they can, make their own little musical instrument to sing, when they're singing or something like that. Another one is you can make a card holder out of these, and again, styrofoam or paper plates. Decorate, first of all, you want to cut one plate in half, and then you can decorate it, the bottom half of it, and just staple them together so that you have, this would be a half a plate, not a whole plate. Staple them together and you've got a card holder. You can also make something like that to hold your things like your bills in or something like that. Really handy. You can also use them to sort things on. Of course, beads, beans, seeds, buttons, that kind of stuff. Now, for a paper plate, you can actually, and I don't have any paper plates, so I just have a piece of paper here, but if you roll a paper plate up, kind of like this, okay, and then you take it and open up the top part so that this gets thinner and this gets wider, you can use as a funnel for dried goods. Like if you're putting flour in your mixer, you're making a cake or whatever, and you're adding the flour to it or your powdered sugar, whatever you're making, you can hold this over the bowl, pour it in there, and it will funnel it. You can also use it to fill up things with, like if you're filling up a little sugar bowl or a salt shaker or something like that, and you can adjust it so that this opening at the bottom is smaller, and then, and just adjust it. Makes a very nice funnel. And that's about all I got for paper plates. There's a lot more, I know. I mean, I use them for multiple things, but that's all I'm going to go into on the paper plates. Leave your comments in the comments section of how you use paper plates. All right, so let's move on to straws. Now, the two types of straws that I'm using today, one is they're smoothie straws. And the smoothie straws are actually a little bit bigger than your normal drinking straw. And I'm also using milkshake straws. Okay, and these are actually quite large. I don't know if you can see that. They're pretty good size. Okay, and you can see the smoothie one next to, see that, how much bigger, okay? And you can also use regular size drinking straws. Now, on the first one is to organize your jewelry box, and now you can adjust this however you want to do it, but if you attach your necklaces and you run the chain through the drinking straw, and then you can lay that in your jewelry box, you're not going to have your necklaces all tangled up and everything. And you can adjust the size. You can have it anywhere from the small one on up to the big one. You can even put 2 on them if you want. But this actually would hang an angel's jewelry case, and it would keep it from tangling up just by doing it just like that. And you know, and then she can also put those in her travel case for when she's packing her theater stuff. You know, string her jewelry onto straws, and it will keep them from getting tangled up. Now, you can also use a straw for an emergency eyedropper. And when you all know the little trick, you know, where you put your finger over the straw and you drop, you know, the liquid, and by capping it, well, you can use an eyedropper, make an emergency eyedropper out of a piece of a straw, or you can use a full-size straw. But so emergency eyedropper. Now, another thing is if you're using a caulking gun and you're in a tight spot and you just can't get the tip of the caulking gun in there, attach this to the end of the tip of your caulking gun, and then you can cut it to whatever length that you need it, and you can actually use your caulking gun into tight spots. It also works really well for gluing when you're gluing in tight spots too. Now, 2 things that I do a lot of is I make these little emergency packets up. Now, you all have seen me do my fire starters, and these are actually a couple of them. This is the Vaseline coated cotton, and when you do this, it actually makes them waterproof. Now, these are the fire starters. You've seen me do these before, but I'll show you real quick. You cut it to whatever length you want. You need some kind of needle nose pliers, and you clamp the end. You see that? Like that. Make sure it's good and tight. Now, these are actually used for jewelry, so they're at an angle. So what the important thing is, you want to make sure this is sealed. Okay, so you see how much I've got sticking out there? You're melting this. Okay, so you just melt the end of it. I know that's hard to see. Sorry about the glare. Now, do you see that, how it's melted? Okay, you let it cool a minute. You take it off, and it's sealed up. I don't know if you can see that or not. And that will seal it up. Now, and then you just can pack it full of whatever you're going to put in there. And then once you get it packed in, and you want to make sure you leave enough space, then you just close up the other end and seal it up. Okay? Excuse me. Now, some of the things that you can use this for is fire starters. You can make yourself seasoning kits, medical kits, and craft kits out of these. Now, for seasoning, of course, that goes without saying. You can put any kind of seasonings in there. The medical kits is you would use that for maybe your antibiotic cream or ointment, or any kind of creams or ointments that you would want a small amount of. You could put those in there. And the beauty of this is you can make them any size you want. You could make them big like this, or you can make them smaller. You could even make them smaller than this. So the medical kit would be for like a single dose of antibiotic or something like that. Craft kits, you could use make small tubes of glue or paint or beads, the small tiny beads, like the seed beads, that kind of thing. You could use the bigger milkshake straws for a little bit bigger beads or bigger quantity. Now, one thing you can do for your lunchbox or throw into your purse is fill them with salt and pepper. Now, I have in here one for salt and one for pepper. And again, this will show the size. Here's my salt. Here's my pepper. Okay. and you just open that up and pour it out. Now, if you're like me, you're going to have a lighter on you, and excuse me, and you can reseal that up. You know, if you are carrying an everyday carry multi-tool, you can just close that up, reseal it after you've used it. You know, just cut it clean across here so that you can reseal it. The other thing is you can actually make these smaller. So, or these would work, this size would work really good if you're on a picnic and multiple people are going to use it, you know, or you're out hiking or whatever. These would be very handy for like a family. This set would actually work good for a family. Now, I always keep mine in a little bag. That goes in my purse, but I'm actually going to be doing a spice kit that shows how you can do this in a spice kit, and you can add these to your spice kit along with little jars, you know, little bottles and stuff. I had showed some little bottles that I made or that I bought. You can add these along with your little bottles or whatever else you're going to use. But there's your little kit for your purse. You know, just drop it down in there. And you can use it for whatever seasonings you want. Okay, well, that's all I have today. If you have any suggestions for straws, please leave it in the comments below, along with ones about your paper plates. All right, you all have a nice day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!